The war has begun in the NBA Finals. It is 1-1, going back to Boston in the Garden. Game 3, 6 p.m. I'm already excited. uh, Man, what a game tonight. Um, I feel like tonight was, a real NBA Finals game. I thought the first game was a feel-out game. Um, but tonight the Oracle was rocking. It sounded like the old Oracle. The Oracle was rocking, high intensity, and I felt like the Warriors played at a very high intense level, especially on the defensive end. They really brought it tonight. I thought Gary Payton coming back and no Andre Iguodala in the lineup. I thought that made a huge difference on defense. I mean, Boston didn't even score 90 points tonight, so that was huge. But if you're Boston, you got to feel good because obviously tough loss tonight, but you did the job. You got a game on the road. It's 1-1. You're going back to the Garden. Funnily enough, they haven't played as well at home as on the road this playoff, which is kind of weird because the Garden's like one of the best home court advantage. But I feel like tonight Boston's loss was self inflicted. Kind of like the Warriors lost in Game One. I feel like Boston's loss tonight was self inflicted. They Boston plays off their defense. Their defense is their strength, and they had some breakdown defensively on the pick and rolls. They didn't play well. I thought that wasn't going to happen again after Game One in that first quarter where they just didn't play the pick and roll well at all with Steph. And tonight you saw it again with Steph sometimes, and then Jordan Poole. Then on offense, man, 19 turnovers. Um, your defense is your strength. You can't do that. You can't turn the ball over 19 times because it leads to fast breaks. And the Warriors got 30 plus points on fast breaks, and so that's how they were able to score tonight. But if you're Boston, the reason you feel good is you can make those adjustments. Those are easy things to fix. I get that the turnovers obviously had a lot to do with the intensity of the Warriors going way up compared to Game One. It really felt like a Game One final, a finals game. I felt like Game One. I was worried that we're not going to have a good game, good 7 game series because either the Warriors were either rusty in Game One or they were flat. I don't know what it was, but they just didn't. It didn't feel like a Warriors performance. That like a finals Warriors performance. I didn't feel like they showed up to the extent that you need to at this time of the year. Um, and so the fact that they played with that kind of intensity tonight, that desperation, it just shows me that they have another gear. And I thought they did. And so when they came out so flat um, for Game One, yeah, I was concerned that this might be a quick series for Boston. Um, the funny thing is, I thought a little bit about the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1990 when the Lakers won Game One, and then the more experienced Lakers won Game One, and then the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen won the next four, and that was their first championship. And the way Boston just took the heart out of the Warriors in that fourth quarter, um, I was worried for the Warriors because I was thinking like maybe they just had such an easy road in the playoffs till now, and the East has been tougher. Boston just went through Miami, they went through Milwaukee, they went through um, the Nets, right? And so I was thinking like yeah, I don't know, maybe the Warriors just don't have that gear, that extra gear or two that I thought they did, and I thought tonight we saw that from the Warriors. I thought it was much better. I thought Steve Kerr, I thought his rotations were better. I thought defensively they were much sharper. The communication was better. Their intensity was better. They're on a string. Um, they made it very difficult for Boston. Boston's still hitting their threes at a high clip. I think they're still over 50%. But the thing that worries me for Boston is just that I don't think they're going to keep hitting threes like that. So um, they're going to have to get better on offense. But I think the energy of that Boston crowd is going to help them a lot. Um, so yeah, so and the other thing that worries me for Boston is Klay Thompson has not gotten going. I mean, that guy is colder than ice right now. And when you know how hot he can get, um, man, because I've got no doubt Clay's gonna get it going. Like he's too good of a basketball player to be this bad. Um, we've seen Clay for too many years, for too many years. Like he's been too good for too many years to just be a dud like this in the finals. He usually plays his best basketball at the highest, most pressure point. So, um, yeah, like I said, I've got the Warriors winning in seven. I didn't feel good about my pick after the first game, but now I think it's definitely going to go seven, maybe six. Um, I've got the Warriors winning in seven or Boston in six, but the role players for Boston have got to, they played so well in game one, and tonight they were just, I mean, pretty much, it was the Jason Tatum show out there. There wasn't um, anybody else on Boston I can think of that played a very good game. So I thought actually Derek White was pretty good tonight again. And then Robert Williams too on defense. I mean, he's the most athletic. He's the most athletic player by far on that basketball court. I mean, it's Wiggins a second, but man, the Warriors made so many layups because they just had nightmares about Robert Williams blocking their shots. Like, man, Wiggins had just I felt like missed a couple layups. So they're worried about Jordan Poole got blocked a couple times. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. Um, I'm excited for Game 3. I think, man, I don't know. I think Boston's gonna win it, but yeah, I mean, this is a pick'em series. It's like will the Boston Celtics' great defense beat the Warriors, or I mean, the Warriors' defense just looks so much better tonight. I mean, Draymond was better. Gary Payton was huge. Andrew Wiggins was really good defensively. Kevon Looney. Defensively, the Warriors are, I think, very underrated. I think they're close to as good as Boston defensively. Um, what worries me is that offensively, the Warriors. I think Boston has the Warriors' number, and if like I said, if Boston just doesn't turn the ball over and they don't play, they don't have stupid, you know, they don't make stupid inattentive mistakes on defense, especially on the pick and roll. I think they're going to be fine. It's just interesting though that one game, Jason Tatum doesn't show up in game one, and then Jaylen Brown was really good, and then tonight it was like the flip side. Jaylen Brown can buy one, and Jason Tatum was really good. So, um, yeah, I can't really explain that. I mean, I think Gary Payton, again, I mean, I've said this like 3 times. I'm just so excited that he's back because I mean, the Warriors with Andre Iguodala in there had no chance. I mean, they just did not look good at all in game one. I mean, in that fourth quarter, like they just, yeah, the Warriors just relaxed too much. I mean, I felt like they were complacent. Then Boston made their run, and by the time, the Warriors try to respond, like it was too late. Like it's like you turn off the car and then you can't turn it back on. So tonight, like they kept the pedal to the metal. I mean, you could tell even in the fourth quarter they were up. I think it was like 17, and I mean they were aggressive. They just wanted to shut the door. They just meant business from the beginning of that fourth quarter. But so yeah, I think game one is going to be about like who makes the adjustments. The first 4 games usually there's a lot of adjustments on both sides, and then by game 5, 6, 7, it's just about who wants it more, about experience, and who comes up, who comes up big, who comes up clutch, who wants it more, who can keep their nerves under control, and hit big time shots. Um, so I think we're gonna see some adjustment in game 3 from Boston. Um, like I said, I think tonight's, if you're a Boston fan, like I wouldn't worry too much about tonight. Like I felt like it was more self inflicted, just like The Warriors' collapse in Game One was more self-inflicted on their end. So um, yeah, Game Three is going to be very, very, very interesting because I think it might be. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the decisive game, but man, whoever wins that game is gonna have a huge, huge, huge leg up. Because, like I said, the first game's a feel-out game. The second game, Boston, I think they were a little complacent tonight. Um, but the third game, like both teams need it really, really bad. So it's gonna tell you a lot. But um, I think Boston's had the tougher road to the playoffs. And you saw it. They just came out of a 7-game series with Miami. So I think they're right in their wheelhouse. They're right at home. So it's gonna be tough for the Warriors. I think if the Warriors want to win this year, they're gonna have to find another gear. Like Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson on offense, they're gonna have to find a way to get him involved. The problem right now is that literally they're playing 3-on-5 basketball right now on offense. Like I mean, Draymond offensively, at least tonight he got a few lamps. He faked the handoff and took it to the basket. He got a few buckets like that. Kevon Looney got a few easy buckets under the hoop like he usually does. He didn't turn the ball over as much tonight, but um, there's a lack. There's something not right on the Golden State offense right now. It's just not clicking, and I think Boston can reach another gear too on their defense. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting. Yeah, we'll just say Warriors in 7, and until I see something else, I'll change my pick. But yeah, I mean it's a pick 'em series, and that's why I'm excited. I mean, like for me, like I love the NBA. This is like Christmas come early. Like, man, these games are such high intensity, like back and forth, back and forth. So man, it's like I said, it's a war. It's just a brawl. I don't know how Draymond didn't get that second tech tonight. Like, I mean, obviously the ref, they want to keep players in, and he didn't do anything egregious. But man, like, yeah, I mean, he could have easily picked up that second foul if it's called like by the letter of the law and not by the intent of the law. Uh, yeah, he's gone. So, anyways, super excited for Game Three. I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye, guys.